This is a story about my very passive aggressive grandma. My mom's side of the family is very cool, very straightforward in what they feel. If they don't like you, if they really don't like you, it'll be stab stab, and you go to the hospital, blood, go to the hospital, and you're fine. And your integral self is kept intact, but my dad's family is really, they're just they don't, they just say things that dig deep and that really get at your soul, and they don't say anything. They never say anything enough for you to address it, and it's like one of the worst things. You can't start a fight, and it's horrible. So, I was gonna go to Indiana Dunes for my 6th grade field trip, and I was very excited, and I was looking forward to it, as well as all of the students in 6th grade. We were preparing it, for months and months and months with like fundraising and all this stuff, and we were finally able to go, and it was decided that I would sleep over at my grandma's house, and she would drive me to the bus that would take me to Indiana Dunes the next morning. So I slept over, and I woke up, I got in the shower, I came out, and I looked around, legs, hips, like body, and then I look in the mirror, and like my head is not okay. And I should address that I was growing my hair out for a very long time, and it was about 9-10 inches at the time, and it looked really bad. It was like a giant mushroom cloud, and it was I looked like a Mexican prostitute, I feel, in the least degrading terms, like just out of her prime, just 5 kids, and she's come back in the business, just to get back at it, and she came back rough, so it looked really bad, and my grandma never said anything, and she never addressed, like, my mom's side of the family would be, really jokingly like, oh, it looks like a rat's nest, but I would still grow it because I wanted to, but my grandma never said anything. So I wake up, I check my hair, and it's weird, and so I get on the bus, or my grandma takes me, and I ask her, what's wrong with my hair? And she says, oh, it's the conditioner, because I had not used conditioner for like the 9 months I had been growing this hair until the day of Indiana Dunes. And I said, oh, okay, that makes sense, because I was 11 and I didn't know what conditioner did. So I went on, we got on the bus, and my friends, who were also my age, did not know what conditioner did either. So they knew my hair looked weird, but they didn't know why. And it was about a week-long stay in Indiana Dunes, and my hair was about 5 inches, 4 inches, and 2 to 1 inch is long all at the same time, because my grandma was not a barber. And what I later come to find out is that she cut my hair in my sleep, and in my sleep, and I imagine it's very hard, because she has to turn me over and then cut, and then turn me over again and cut, and she doesn't really have like a reference. So I commend her for such admirable barber attempt, but it's really it was so bad. And I was like this for a week, and no one had told me, no teachers, no adults. There were adults at the campsite. No one told me at all that I had very mangled, like, hold up hair, and it was just I felt like I don't know, just like some meth head who had to cut his own hair or something. Well, I feel like that now. I didn't feel like that then, but I come home, and my parents pick me up, and maybe halfway through the ride back home, they look at my hair, and my mom says, like, what happened? And I said, it was a conditioner. It's what conditioner does, right? And then Dad looks over as well and says, Jesus Christ. And then, like, he looks over to mom, and it's just like mumbles like, what do you mean it's a conditioner, you know, and he just says, there's a lot of obscenities in it, but I don't, well, I'm saying this, I respect my parents, and this is why I don't really swear around them, and my mom is right next to me right now, and she's a great person, she's a great parent, I'm just a terrible person, so I'm going to quote my dad. He said, what the fuck do you mean she told you it was a conditioner? But in a very loud and mean voice that I can't replicate very well. So she also gets mad. My mom also gets mad. They drive over to my grandma, and my grandma tries to lie at first and then says, I got gum in my hair. And that's why she didn't wake me up, and she cut my hair in my sleep. And I guess I probably ate like 8 consecutive pieces of gum in my sleep, and then put my head in it, and then rolled it around, and that's why she had to cut all of my hair terribly, and it grew like this for a week, so it was a lot of damage to me, mentally and physically, and so I was very mad at my grandma, and so was my dad, who also already didn't like his own mother, and so her husband, my dad's stepdad, ended up choking my dad for some reason, and my grandma ended up having a very bad time, and that was my trip to Indiana Dunes.